Hey everyone, this is Alan Schimmel of DevOps.com, DevOps TV, and we're here live on the floor of Jenkins World. I'm here with a Jenkins speaker, Jed Anderson of Cambia Health Solutions.
That is correct.
Got it. Jed, you're a fellow security person.
I am a fellow security person.
Woohoo! You might be one of the first, second, third, in the 2 days here. Why don't you share with our audience, what did you talk about at Jenkins World?
So my talk was called Securing Your Code from Zero to Hero. DevSecOps was the theme, the running theme through the whole thing. And interestingly enough, I got my start as a software engineer over 20 years. I got really excited about security just a few years ago.
Okay.
When InfoSec came and brought me a 300-page report with 1,000 defects and said, fix it. 30 days, or you go on a report to the CEO.
They only gave you 30 days?
30 days.
Wow.
No prioritization, no assistance. So it's, the next picture in my slide is always me in a Batman mask. I'm gonna fix this thing, right? So definitely very near and dear to me, and something I hope to be able to invest in the community a lot more.
I used to think of that as job security.
Yeah.
Because usually by the time you got done fixing the vulnerabilities they gave you, it was just in time to run another scan, and then they would give you your next. It's kind of like painting a bridge. But you start painting on this end, by the time you get to this end, you got to
start over,
paint the bridge again. So I'm going to guess they were doing scans at your place every 30 days.
It could be, yeah.
But yeah, it is. Just a little history. I remember doing a survey 20 years ago at a company I'd started, asking people how did they get into security, because back then you didn't have cybersecurity degrees or colleges teaching it. 70-something% of the people were actually network guys.
Yep.
Who were too stupid
operations.
to
They built
buy.
servers.
Yeah,
right? Yep.
That's exactly what
Those
they
are the
were.
guys.
And then someone would say, "Well, I need someone to check out the firewall log or an intrusion detection," and they were too stupid to run.
Yeah.
And they got caught with it, and that's how they became security people. Or, as I said in the panel, I think you're at, they like to break things, and so that kind of lends itself to that whole hacker mentality, maybe.
Well, from the application security side, the big challenge that I see is universities still don't require any security training as a requirement. It's an elective, and so we got new graduates coming out of school who have never heard of the OWASP Top 10.
Nope.
So I've got to go and I've got to train them to start with, and I usually start with the OWASP Top 2. Cross-site scripting and SQL injection, right? If we could fix that,
to start.
If we could fix
You're
that,
ahead of the game.
Man, we could solve a lot of problems.
Yeah.
But when I started at Cambia, really the goal was to do shift left, right? Get tools as early in the SDLC as possible. Give information to developers so that they can start taking action on defects, and I call them security defects, not vulnerabilities, because a defect, developers, they understand, right?
Yes.
So
vulnerabilities they think of it.
That's right. Pump those defects into their story system, into Jira, and let them take action and rinse and repeat. Learn to move faster.
I hear you. Let me ask you another question. What was the feedback in your presentation?
The feedback was good. I always judge my presentation and the effectiveness based on the kind of questions I get, right? So when there's a lot of questions that come at the end, people want to know what I'm using, how I'm using it, what challenges I came up against. That's kind of when I know I engage with the audience and hit home. So I'm looking forward to being able to do this some more. I got to speak at OSCON a few months ago, and I'm glad to be here at Jenkins World. This is an exciting conference. People seem interested in security.
Well, let me just let you know, we, as part of here at DevOps.com, we actually do a big RSA event, Monday of RSA week, in this very room, actually.
Excellent. Wow.
Called DevSecOps, and we have about a dozen speakers. Usually we'll have John Willis, we'll have big guys from the DevOps community, big guys from the security community. I'd love to have you submit to speak for that, because we're always looking for real life DevSecOps practitioners.
You can be sure I will.
Absolutely. What do you think of Jenkins World in general?
I think it's great. The sense of community and sharing is different than I've seen in a lot of other conferences where people want to learn. They want to learn from each other, and they're willing to share information. And that's exciting. Definitely not so much the same at every conference. It seems like the security conferences tend to be more tightly held.
Yeah.
And this is a lot more sharing. I told my CISO this year, I'm not going to a single SecCon. I'm going to go to DevCons only this year because I want to be part of the sharing community and get security into everybody's hands.
Excellent. Jed, thank you for being
Thank
our
you.
guest here on DevOps TV. Thanks for presenting at Jenkins World.
Absolutely.
And keep the faith alive. DevSecOps is going to win eventually, I promise
Absolutely.
you.
I'll be definitely the biggest fan.
All right. Jed Anderson, Cambia Health, speaker here at Jenkins World. This is Alan Schimmel for DevOps TV.